we're in a protest. The reason you protest is not to dish out your anger. The reason you protest is because you want things to change. In order for things to change, you got to have the changes that you want on a platform. You can't holler change the system and do not talk about the certain things that you want change within the system. That's why you have a platform. I want this done. I want that done. I want this done. I want you to provide this. I want you to do this. And if you don't do it, number one, we're going to vote you out of office. If you don't do it, we're going to step up our protest. And lately, we've been holding back the rioters. Lately, we've been fighting with you to stop the rioters. We've been fighting with you to stop the looters. We ain't doing that. No, we ain't doing that because you've been looting and fighting us all these years. We're not going to help you do your job. We're going to stop. But for now, we're going to do whatever we can, but we need you to come to the table and we're going to help, because if not, we're holding back. We're going to continue to keep with our peaceful protesting, but looters, go do your thing. Rioters, do your thing. Because sometimes pain, you need to feel the pain. The ends justify the means. That's why, even though I might not be out there doing that rioting and looting, I ain't. Bruh, if that's what you figure you got to do, have at it, bruh. Hey, that's your thing. Do it. Because they did it to us. Who am I to stop you? They've been doing it to us all these years. So, but what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be played for a fool. I told you last week, watch who kneel with you, because the same person kneel with you will be kneeling on you in a couple of weeks. Stop that. They come talk all that talk. You need to do what that sister did to the mayor. Call that police chief out. Call that police officer out. Are you going to fight with us and help us bring some changes to the law breaking that goes on in the police department, in the precinct? Because we get too many polices turning a blind eye. Are you going to be vowing to be part of a blue code, or are you going to be vowing to be part of a people code? Because at the end of the day, you take that badge off, you black, you can get arrested. You can get pushed around. You can holler, oh, you're going to, like the FBI guy say, oh, you're going to lose your job. Yeah, whatever. That's if I don't kill you. Don't fall for this stuff. Here's something when I saw this, I really got pissed off. People dancing in the street. This is protest mode. And you out there dancing in the street, doing a freaking Macarena with the National Guard and stuff like that. Now, understanding that's one of the oldest plot. They use that in Afghanistan. They use that in Beirut. They use all kind of ways to disarm you before they attack you, and you falling for this stuff. What do you mean, Rob? This is what I mean. Now, this sister, looking all beautiful, she did an interview claiming that she's doing that as a way of de-escalating the situation.
Yeah, so we actually have the woman who put this all together. Tyson, if you could come over here for a second. You said that this is your speaker and this was all intentional.
Yes, it was. We came out here on Sunday, my cousin and I, and the atmosphere was so heavy. People were screaming, F the police. It was very, very dark. Protesters were screaming at each other, and we kept saying, what can we do to change the energy? So every day we've come out here with that wall over there, and we have a different theme every day so people can write out how they're feeling. So today the theme was if we were all treated equally, and people write what they feel. Yesterday is we want our government to know, and we bring out this music every single day, and a few people were dancing the first day. We had a little bit more, and now today we have the National Guard dancing with us. I'm trying not to cry because this is all I wanted. From the day one, this is all we wanted to see, is real unity, because I know we're all hurting, and I know we're all in so much pain, because I have an 18-year-old son that I fear for his life every single day. But this is what it's going to take. We can't fight hate with hate. We can't. So this is all we wanted, and I'm so happy right now. I'm beyond joyful right now. So.
If I can get them to dance, I'll de-escalate the situation. The situation don't need to be de-escalating if it's peaceful protesting. How about you bring that Macarena dance in the middle of somebody rioting? That Macarena dance, ain't nobody gonna stop looting to do no freaking Macarena dancing. These people out here crushing your people, and you wanna... Then you got the protesters joining in with the National Guard doing a freaking Macarena. This is not how you get change. This is not Frederick Douglass saying, without the demand, you're not going to concede any power. This is my problem with black people that's leaning into these parties. How are you going to expect to be? How are you going to expect to demand power from partyism when you are under the subjection of partyism? The reason the Democratic Party haven't done nothing for black people for 40, 50 years is because we've leaned more into that party and done more so for that party. They consider us a firewall. They don't have to do nothing to earn our vote because they believe that we're going to vote for them no matter what. And we keep proving them over and over again. That's what we did with the bigot Norton over here in Virginia and that bigot in Alabama. And they still have not done anything for us. I don't even talk about Republicans because ain't nothing happening there. But here are the people who claim they're on your side. And here you are. People out here demanding change. This has gone beyond George Floyd. It's gone beyond a person dying with a knee on the neck. We're going around saying that we need to stop this mess. And we're going to stop this mess, as Malcolm X say, by any means necessary. And you going out here doing this foolishness. And it's the female protesters mostly. You don't see too many dudes. You probably may get somebody from the LGBT community to jump in there and do it. But it's females, black females at that, jumping in with the people who have been sent out there to stop you from demanding, to push back on you from demanding, when they need to be taking off their helmet and joining you with a sign. You're joining them with a freaking dance. It pisses me off. Not understanding they use this in wartime to de-escalate the citizens there so they can dominate the citizens there. First, we de-escalate you by any means necessary before we dominate you. So their job is to de-escalate you in the streets before they go dominate the streets, as Trump would say. You don't believe me? Here's an example of one. Because if I can get to your kids going to hold you back when we come in and do what we need to do in your town.
I'm doing video right now. He's teaching them the Macarena.
And I think he's bringing them some food, maybe some toys to de-escalate the children. Oh, they care about the children. Let me tell you something. When these bombs drop in that village, guess who dies? Those kids. And guess who's not going to be hurt? Those soldiers. Let me stop. Let me calm down, because my brother served and friends of my family served. I served. It do hurt us when we get personally attached to people. But the reason the military don't mind us getting personally attached to these people, because they personally want to detach these people. The Obama drone strike program killed 90% of the people it was targeting. I mean, it didn't kill. The people who he was trying to target, it didn't kill. It went way off. Only 7%. The other 90% was people like these kids that they're so-called de-escalating. This is what you call a psyop. They're using this as a psychological ploy to de-escalate you before they dominate you. They do it with the kids. They do it with the grandparents to make you think we're your friends. And then the next thing you know, when the terrorists come, we're wiping out everything, not just the terrorists. We're shooting wherever we feel like a terrorist is at. We're dropping bombs wherever we feel like a terrorist is at. If we feel like a terrorist is at your hospital, bombs going to hospital. We feel like a terrorist is at your school, bomb going on the schools. And guess who's laying in the rubble? These same kids that's doing the Macarena. And now they're doing that to U.S. citizens. U.S. troops doing that to U.S. citizens. And you got the protesters, mainly black sisters, probably going to get a little white ones in there. You ain't seeing too many black brothers who are really angry joining.
5 minutes later.
Here's a live look once again, downtown Atlanta, and Hope Ford is live for us down there right now. Hope, what can you tell us from your advantage point?
Okay, so a lot of people are leaving from back at Centennial Olympic Park and Marietta Street because that curfew. We all just got the alerts on our phones. So a lot of people are heading down this way, and they're coming up on the National Guard. As we know, the National Guard has that line on the other side of Centennial Olympic Park. And the National Guard said, y'all keep the party going. Y'all keep playing music. So that's what people did. They all started dancing out here. Some of the National Guard members have joined in to dance with them. So this is a completely different vibe. There are people taking pictures with the National Guard here right now. They're taking pictures, and they're all dancing together again. So a completely different vibe from probably what Brendan is seeing on the other side with that police line and those protesters at the beginning. But these are all the people that are kind of leaving and coming up on this line right now and decided, you know what, let's just have a dance before we head out for the night as that curfew approaches. So that's what we're seeing right now. The rain didn't stop them today, so now they're coming out here. It's kind of funny to see some of the National Guard members trying to jump in, but they're not getting the dance yet, but they trying out here. But you see kids out here, you see all races out here being represented, and they're just trying to have a good moment. They're having to have a good time out here. This has been going on probably for about 25 minutes now. They moved these vehicles in. Those vehicles you probably see on the other side. They moved those in, and they said, you know what, we're going to move these in because we have to, because that curfew is approaching. But we're going to go ahead and dance with you guys if you keep the party going. So now you kind of get the. So and right now they just. So as you're seeing all this fun, you got to remember that curfew's coming up. So the lady you just heard from, I just saw a National Guard member walk up to her, take her aside and go, hey, just so you know, in a few minutes, we're going to be putting up those shields. And when we start to put up those shields, we have to get people out of here. Right now, there's a lot of kids out here. They don't want to start, having to disperse with tear gas or anything like that while there's children out here. And so this fun moment you're seeing right now, it's going to change here once it gets closer to curfew because they want people to go home. They don't want anybody out here to get tear gas. They don't want anybody to get hurt. So I see her heading over to the microphone right now. So this is probably going to go on for a little bit longer, and they're going to start to shut that down. So that way you can see they're fist bumping everybody out here. It's a completely different vibe. And I'm glad our cameras are right here to witness this part of the protest in this moment. She's making that announcement.
How y'all feeling?
And you know what, Hope? Can you hear me?
It's. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to say this is one of the most encouraging moments that we have seen since the protest started days ago. Just seeing the National Guardsmen get in a line, doing what we used to do, what I used to do back in the day with the electric slide, mixing it up with the folks who are protesting as well, showing that we are all human human beings, and we want the same thing. We want peace, we want justice, and we don't want violence. And that actually was displayed in the video, the story that you and Tyson just captured right now. And it's encouraging. It really. Here's a live look once again, downtown Atlanta. And Hope Ford is live for us down there right now. Hope, what can you tell us from your vantage point?
Okay, so a lot of people are leaving from back at Centennial Olympic Park and Marietta Street because that curfew. We all just got the alerts on our phones. So a lot of people are heading down this way, and they're coming up on the National Guard. As we know, the National Guard has that line on the other side of Centennial Olympic Park. And the National Guard said, y'all keep the party going, y'all keep playing music. So that's what people did. They all started dancing out here. Some of the National Guard members have joined in to dance with them. So this is a completely different vibe. There are people taking pictures with the National Guard here right now. They're taking pictures, and they're all dancing together again. So a completely different vibe from probably what Brendan is seeing on the other side with that police line and those protesters at the beginning. But these are all the people that are kind of leaving and coming up on this line right now and decided, you know what, let's just have a dance before we head out for the night as that curfew approaches. So that's what we're seeing right now. The rain didn't stop them today, so now they're coming out here. It's kind of funny to see some of the National Guard members trying to jump in, but they're not getting the dance yet, but they trying out here. But you see kids out here, you see all races out here being represented, and they're just trying to have a good moment. They're having to have a good time out here. This has been going on probably for about 25 minutes now. They moved these vehicles in. Those vehicles you probably see on the other side. They moved those in, and they said, you know what, we're going to move these in because we have to, because that curfew's approaching. But we're going to go ahead and dance with you guys if you keep the party going. And so that's what you're seeing right now.
70s and 80s. Looks like there's a little electric slide in there at the same time.
Oh, so we actually have
the National Guard tries to.
If you guys can hear us.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you guys hear us?
Before I go, I gotta talk to you. You want things to change? That foolishness stops today. You don't do that no more. You don't do that. You don't dance in the street until your change has manifested. They're de-escalating you. They're getting you to let your guards down around them. They're sent there to stop you. They're sent there to stop you by way of the president getting on the governors. Why they want to stop you? Because they fear this might get too out of hand. This might go too far. And the reason they sent those guys in is mainly because of the looters, because of the rioters. Not understanding when it came to progression of change, it involves looters, it involves rioters, it involves peaceful protesters. These things are necessary for change. I don't condone it. I'm not a part of it, but it has been necessary for change, and it led to change, because once you start dealing with crushing capitalism in their pockets, you can do it a peaceful way or doing an unpeaceful way. Once you start taking a hit at capitalism, they get nervous. And they didn't care nothing about black people tearing up their own neighborhoods or Hispanics taking up their neighborhoods. But the moment the blacks and Hispanics and their white buddies and their Jewish buddies and their and their LGBT buddies came together as one, and some of those guys, whether it was Antifa or whether it was people who just decided, I'm not going to be don't link me up with Antifa, but don't link me up with peace. Because I told you no justice, no peace. So until you bring justice, I'm not going to be peaceful. I'm coming over on your end. Once they started coming on that end, that's when they started sending those troops. So understand, the reason that those people are there is to stop your progress. When most of them are black and they know they need progress. They know they need progress. Military is just as racist there too. Yeah, you get good benefits, you get a check, you can spend some big money, you can establish a great life, but you got to put your life on the line to do it. Protest is necessary. Peaceful? I'm a peaceful protester. Part of that come with riot. Everybody's not going peaceful, and you can't make them to be peaceful. And you can do whatever you can to stop people from rioting, to stop people from looting, and they love for you to do that. They want you to be on their side to stop that. Why do I need to be on your side when your side is the one who's oppressing my people? I don't want to have no parts. You on your own. Do what you got to do. I'm not stopping them. I'm not stopping looters. I'm not stopping them. You don't tick somebody off. That's your fault. You need to change the laws. Because until you change the laws, this ain't going to stop.